All right, folks, welcome to another video. Now today I've got for you a really important video, really for myself, because this style of practice, what I'm going to give you today, is one of the types or the ways that we can practice that I'm most passionate about. This is practicing really for recovery, but also using the movements and the postures, the asana, along with the breath, as a way to also connect to ourselves and maybe use this as a way to relax, a way to get you started practicing yoga, a way to recover, especially if we're someone that is commonly using a lot of our mental and physical capacity. But this is also a great meditative practice too. And so if we feel like we fall into any of those categories for this practice, then this is going to be the right one for you. So this is a mashup of 3 mini sequences or series called the Pawanmuktasana series, and this is mainly a series to help people with certain conditions, but at least from my own observation, they're also just a really great practice to master, and this is what was recommended anyway with these types of series and practices. So the first one is trying to help remove wind or air from the body, and this doesn't just mean gas or removing air or gas from the colon, although it does fall into that, but it's also from the joints, so dryness from the joints mainly. Then we've got another part, which is dealing directly with the core of the body more and trying to build a bit more intra-abdominal pressure to potentially promote more easeful and better digestion. And then the final part is energy block remover series, or the Shakti Bandha series. And this is, in short, really just a way that we can use more dynamic movements to help release stiffness from the body. But for the people that created this sequencing, it does go a lot deeper, removing tightness and stiffness, not just from the physical body, but also the nervous system and even more metaphysical parts of ourself. Beautiful. Okay, so today all we need is a mat or a carpet. That do fine, to be honest, because a lot of what we're doing today is on our bum or laying down. However, it might be the case, even for me, it can sometimes be difficult that in our seated positions, especially when we have the legs forward, we might benefit from some hip elevation. And so a couple of cushions on hand, if you do have a bolster, great. To be honest, we could even use a chair for this. If we've never done anything like this before, at least in terms of the movements, then even a chair would be absolutely fine. Let's get into it. Today we'll start on our back in Shavasana corpse pose. So once we come down, we could have the legs straight. If this is uncomfortable, especially in the low back, you could bend the knees, get the feet on the mat, whatever works. Maybe allow the knees to fall in. And then we'll have the arms down by the side. Palms could go upwards. Now, not too strict with the alignment, the positions. To be honest, at any part of this practice, just make sure that we're comfortable and we're in no pain. And that way we'll be all good. Now we could close down the eyes here or keep them half open if we don't want to do either of those. Even fixing the gaze can be a good one to do here. And that way, wherever we're at in this position here on our back, we can start to draw our focus inwards and really build on, for me, what's really the main foundation of any yoga practice, which is self-observation, swadhyaya, self-study and self-awareness. So as we lay here to begin with, setting the tone for practice today, observing the physical body, observing the thoughts that come up within the mind, maybe checking in with our emotional state, and of course, noticing the in-breath, noticing the out-breath. And now we'll begin to direct more focus specifically towards our breath. If we can, beginning to breathe in and out of the nostrils. If we can't, it's all good. And potentially beginning to incorporate some diaphragmatic breathing too. So just breathing from the core of the body. On our in-breath, we can allow the upper abdomen, the lower side ribs, the mid-back to expand in all directions. And if that feels comfortable, maybe even allow the lower abdomen, the lower back too. almost as if we're trying to move the in-breath into the hips or the pelvic floor. And then on the out-breath, you can allow all that same space to contract and naturally draw back in. Now, I use the word naturally because when we do this, we shouldn't be forcing the abdomen in or out. We're not really using the abdomen or belly to breathe. We're simply giving the breath some direction to move into. As we move the breath a little bit more deep and low, maybe even slow, nostril breathe in as well. We begin to give the body an easier time to come into the moment, the here and now, with that more clarity within the mind, a little bit more relaxation within the body as well. Okay, and then before we start to move on, we'll take 3 rounds of breath, and we'll actually use the nostrils to breathe in, and as if we're blowing out of a straw, we will exhale out of the mouth on the out breath. Let's give this a go. Inhale, fill the lungs up without force. Exhale, slow, controlled release. Round 2 in breath. And the out breath. Final round inhale. Exhale, release. Lovely stuff. We'll start to move the fingers, the toes. You can rock the head from side to side. And blinking the eyes open now if we had them closed. With our in-breath here, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky and then slowly drop the arms down behind us. And then with our next out breath, we'll pull the arms up and then drop them back down by the side of the body. Once we have that, we'll bend both knees and then you can roll over to one side. It could be the right or left. And from that position, we will then press ourselves up to come onto our bum into base position. So with base position, the legs could be straight. We could also have them bent. And again, if we do have those props close by, we could even use some cushions, a bolster underneath, not only the hips, but even the knees, especially if the knees are bent here, at least for this first one. So we've got both hands and arms either down by the side or even behind us. Here I'm even on the fingertips and allowing the feet to relax in whichever position we're in. Just notice yourself in this position. How do we feel? What do we feel? Take note. No need to dwell on the sensations. Just observe. All right, from here, beginning to roll into the ankles. So we could do breath to movement if we wish. If not, just breathe normally, focus more on the movement. With our in-breath here, we'll begin to point our toes and feet away from us. And then with our out-breath, we'll begin to flex the toes and pull the feet towards us. Again, with the in-breath, we start to point the toes and the feet away. On the out-breath, we pull the feet and the toes back, and you'll continue like this. So we could look towards the ankles if we're not so sure where the body is in space, but if we feel quite comfortable with where we're at, again, no need to worry about right or wrong movements. As long as we're not in pain, we're all good. Then fix the gaze, maybe at eye level, and that way with the gaze fixed, it's going to be easier to enhance our awareness, which is a really big component of some of the effects, the positive effects that we can get from this type of practice, especially when it comes to the mind and mental effects. Next time we point the toes forward, now we will go the other way. So again, with your out breath, pull the feet and toes in, out breath, point the toes forward, roll and rotate the other direction. One more full rotation. Beautiful. Relax the feet, give them a shake. We'll now move on to the knees. So if we do have the bolster underneath, it might be the case that we remove that now just because we've got a couple of options in terms of the way that we can execute this next one. So something like this. Hands could come down by the side. First variation could be with our out breath, keeping the foot on the mat, sliding the foot and the knee towards us, of course bending the right leg to do that, and then in breath we can slide and draw the right leg and right foot back forward. Again, we would repeat, out breath it comes in breath it comes forward. Second variation, we can bend the knee, get the feet on the mat or wherever we're practicing on, and place the hands on the back of the leg. From here, with our in-breath, we would lift the foot and straighten the right leg up, and on our out-breath, we will drop the right foot to rebend the leg. So 2 options to play around with. Let's give this a go. So leg straight or knee bent, maybe holding on to the legs or hands down by the side. From wherever we are, on our out breath, for those with the leg straight, you can begin to bend the knee in. For those with the leg already bent, in breath, right leg can straighten, and then all together we can straighten out. Exhale, rebend, and continue like this on your own. Inhale to straighten, exhale to rebend. Next out breath, rebend. For those with the foot lifted, pop the leg back down, straighten the leg, give the legs a little shake, and we'll switch sides. So we know the variations, get straight into it from wherever you are. Could be left leg straight or left knee bent. Let's begin. In breath, straighten the leg, exhale, rebend. Final rep. Very good. Left leg comes down, pop the hands behind you. Option to close the eyes, observe the body. Beautiful. Open the eyes if the eyes are closed. Still moving on to the legs, but now into the hips. So with our out breath, with or without the hands, we can bend the right knee, and now the right leg will come out. So again, this might look different for all of us, depending on the person. We could be the right foot really close to the left shin or left foot. Maybe we stay here. Or we might be able to get the foot all the way into the groin, anywhere in between. It doesn't really matter, whatever works. So we can hold this position. If this is already a lot for us, stay exactly where you are. Maybe hands down on the ground. If this is okay, we can start to use the right hand to gently bob the right knee up and down. Now, if we're doing that, completely relax the hip joint on the right side, the knee. Use the hand only to create the movement. Of course, though, be very mindful. If we've got pain, then back off and come into a position where we can release and get rid of that pain. So maybe bigger movements if we're using the hand. And then release. Good. Use the right hand to help draw the right leg in from wherever we are. Both hands can come behind you and kind of allow the right leg to fall in. Now, for some of us, it might not even fall in. That's all good. We then straighten the right leg and switch sides. Out breath, bending left knee. In breath, left leg can draw out. Pick your variation. Try and sit tall, hips down, crown of the head up. Maybe using the left hand now to help bob the left knee up and down. Bigger movements with the leg if we like. Just remember to use the hand making these movements if we are. The left leg draws in, out breath. Both hands can come behind you. Allow the left leg to either come towards the chest or it folds more inwards, maybe even over the right leg, keeping the left foot down. Left leg straightens, out breath, give the feet and legs a shake. Moving on. With our in-breath, we'll reach both arms forward about shoulder height. We'll tuck the thumb into our palm and cross the fingers over the thumb and then simply start to rotate into the wrists. So with these, breathe normally, focus more on the movement, and maybe even look towards the wrists and try and sync the movements up on both sides. Let's roll and rotate the other way. Exhale, give the hands a shake. In breath, this time the arms will come out, still pretty straight, but this time about shoulder height outwards to the side, just winging the arms. On your out breath, bending the elbows, kind of brushing the shoulders with the fingertips. In breath, wing the arms back out, continue like this. So option to stay with this, or we can move on to keeping a bend in the elbows, keeping the fingertips on the shoulders or around that space, and creating rotations now. So it could be the in-breath, lifting the elbows up, pinning the elbows or drawing them back, out breath, elbows drop and draw back forward and in, and we continue like this. And then we could roll and rotate the other way the next time the elbows drop. And from wherever we are, out breath, pop the hands down behind you, lean into the arms and hands a bit, kind of relax the front hip on both sides, the hip flexors. An option to close down the eyes. Okay, so final one here is with the neck. We can do these with the eyes closed, simple rotations into the neck. On our out breath, beginning to lower the chin down towards the chest. And on our in breath, beginning to roll and rotate the right ear towards right shoulder. In fact, it's not much of a rotation, it's more of a side bend. Then the chin can lift, the head can tilt back. On the out breath, left ear towards left shoulder, and the chin will drop. So again, don't twist the neck, more of a side bend, almost like we are looking at a pin spinning round. It's not really twisting or rotating, it's kind of just pivoting on the very end of the pin. So allow your neck to become that. In breath to lift and tilt the chin up, out breath to drop the chin back down. So again, always a reminder not to worry about breath to movement. I'm going to cue it for every single one, but if it is too confusing, if we're here really trying with a lot of effort to get breath to movement, release it, it kind of defeats the point. Breathe normally, focus more on the movement. Next time the chin drops, we'll do another 5, the other direction. One more full rotation. Nice back and neck and chin back to neutral. Pause here. And then we'll blink open our eyes. Very good. So nearly done here on our bum. If it is feeling a little bit intense now, do try and persevere. We're nearly there. So for this next one, very similar. We could have the feet a bit wider now, and we'll outstretch the arms in front of us, interlocking the fingers and connecting the palms. From here on our out breath, we'll begin to pull the hands towards our chest and really reach the arms and hands towards the right side. Reach them forward, left, and then with our in-breath, we'll pull all the way back. So this is Chaki Chalanasana, or churning the mill. Big rotations, focus more on fluid movement, and maybe breath to movement too. So again, exhale as we come forward, inhale as we come back. And then we'll go the other way. Left side first, forward, right, and back. One more full rotation. Back to neutral, very good. Feet and legs can now come closer together. We've got the arms down by the side, but actually more in front of us, and we'll make the hands into a fist, pulling the rope, Rajukashanasana. Inhale, right arm will come up. We can follow the hand with the gaze, and then tension the arm and the right chest and the shoulder a bit. Exhale, pull the arm down. Inhale, left side comes up, gaze can follow the hand. Exhale, a bit more power, a bit more tension. Out breath, left arm comes down. Continue like this. Now, even as the arm and hand comes down, you can follow or continue to follow the raised hand and arm. Two more on each side. Hands and arms come down to neutral. From here, we can scoot the bum a bit more forward, especially if we are on a mat. And with control, we will lower all the way down to the ground on your out breath. So take a moment here to pause. So notice the body, notice the breath, back where we started. How are we now at this stage in the practice? Okay, so if we have our feet wide apart, let's get the feet closer together. We've still got the legs straight, but maybe the inside of the thighs connect now. And we'll place both arms and hands down by the side tightly, palms face down. With these next ones, Padachakasana, or the hip rotations, we can either do these with the leg straight or the knee bent. So from wherever we are with our in-breath, the right leg will reach up. On our out breath, the right leg begins to turn out to the side, back in and down. In breath, once again, right leg lifts up. Let's do 3 more this direction. So again, remember the leg can be bent or it can be straight. And then the next time the foot comes towards the left, in breath, right leg goes out to the side, up, and then down with the out breath. 2 more This direction, 6 full rotations. 1 more full rotation. Exhale, right leg drops, and let's switch sides. Inhale, left leg comes straight up. Exhale, left foot, left leg goes all the way out to the left side, and back in and down. Inhale, left leg comes up, 2 more. And then roll and rotate the other way, all the way out to the left first, then bring the foot up and down. One more full rotation. Good. So once that left foot drops, give the legs a shake. We'll then be bending both knees and place the soles of the feet down on the mat. Now the arms can stay where they are. Just look towards the legs and the knees, making sure to keep the knees generally above the heels. And then we'll move into Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose. With our in-breath, pressing into the feet and lifting the hips up. So maybe wiggle around a bit, especially on the shoulders, walking the shoulders more in and maybe back towards the heels. No need to move too much though. Generally we should be okay where we are. Now once we lift, just notice how you're using the feet to lift, maybe squeezing the back of the legs more, the front, maybe both, but really just try and relax as well. There's no need to forcefully thrust the hips up in the air. And in fact, with the in-breath, connect more with opening the front side of the body, especially the chest and the upper abdomen, not just thrusting the hips up, but allow the chest, the collarbones to open wide. Now we can stay here or move on to some repetitions. So on our out breath, slowly rolling the hips, the spine back down towards the mat. And just before the hips land, in breath, lift the hips back up. Could do another 4 more just like that. So again, as we lift, really focus on opening the chest with the in-breath. One more left. Bridge pose. Exhale, release and drop. Now allow the feet to go a bit wider, but knees can fall in. So we've still got the knees bent, just allow the knees to fall in. And final one here before we come into our relaxation, Shavasana, is Uddara or sleeping abdominal stretch. So something like this. We've still got the knees bent, but we'll get the legs really close together, feet on the mat. Arms could be out by the side or whatever's comfortable. I like to place the hands behind the head, interlocking the fingers and have the hands as a pillow. The elbows can flare out. So come into this twist, press into the feet, move the hips just a couple of inches towards the right side. And then with our out breath, the legs can drop to the left side. Maybe gaze upwards, maybe gaze towards the right, your choice. Could even close down the eyes or fix the gaze. And then switching sides, in breath, legs to center, shift the hips more to the left, exhale, legs to the right, and we could gaze to our left side if we want. Legs can come back to center. This time on our out breath, we can lift the feet, maybe even hold on to the legs. You can even lift the head here. Just draw the legs and the head towards each other, or maybe just the legs towards the chest. And on our out breath, we come back into our Shavasana corpse pose. So exactly where we started, on our back. Again, feel free to use any props that you've got, cushion underneath the head, maybe one underneath each knee. Even if we've got bricks, go for it. And then again, we could close down our eyes. So as we finish up here, we do have some breathing to do. And this is going to be 5 rounds of samavriti or box breathing. This is just 5 rounds, so it might not make much of a noticeable difference to us, but seeing as we're doing this here, we can take this off our mat if we're on one in our day-to-day life, maybe 5-10 minutes of this without strain. It can be a really nice foundational practice or a daily practice. So samavriti, inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. If 4 is a bit too much, go for 3. I'm going to walk you through all 5 rounds though, okay? So as usual, if this is too strenuous, simply stick with just the in-breath and the out-breath. 4 inhale, 4 exhale. Use what works, leave what doesn't. Before we go into this, breathing in through the nostrils, out of the nostrils, or using the mouth if we can't do that. And then we begin with round 1. Inhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Out 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. In 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Out 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. In 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Out 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. In 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Out 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. In 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Out 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4, 2, 3, 4. Allow the breath to flow at its natural rhythm and pace. Some of it is really good to improve cardiovascular output, relax the body, the mind. Train breath control, train awareness, focus on the breath as well. Okay, so a couple of extra pointers, things that we can do here to allow the body to more easily relax in this final position. So we'll be blinking open our eyes, and now we'll look over to our right side without moving the head, just simply the eyes, and hold your gaze there. And then we'll switch our gaze towards our left, again without moving the head, just the eyeballs. Good, come back to neutral with the eye gaze, and now we'll start to create circles with the eyeball movement, right, down, left, up, fluid circles. And then we'll close down our eyes. Final one here, making some saliva. So just start with chewing on some food. We could even mimic that, moving the tongue around in the mouth, moving the jaw. And then relax and release. So totally absorbed here by the moment, the here and now. Anything the 5 senses are drawing in, invite that in. Allow that to be a gift instead of a distraction, and the gift being these sensations, these experiences as simple points of absorption or focus, and with the sensations internally, externally, the noises, the smells, all these different things that could distract us, use them instead to keep you present in the moment. Mind and body relaxed, mind and body relaxed, mind and body relaxed. So I'll now end the video here. By all means, if you'd like to stay longer, I encourage that, especially if we do want to drop into this relaxation on a deeper level. By all means, stay on your back. Allow the breath to stay soft and light. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.